Screw the coronavirus. Show me the previews. Oh boy, here we go again. Oh, hey everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's on the Tube, or welcome back if this is your 8th Katy Keene chapter review. Before I begin, I hope all of you are doing well during this very difficult time period. And we're here on What's on the Tube, and ActionX is starting to slowly begin to feel the ramifications of it, considering the fact that all of my shows are on break next week. But I'll get to that at the end. However, let's get down to it. So overall base thoughts on this episode. I don't know why. This episode kind of felt like a season finale for some weird reason. We still have more episodes to go. I believe there's still... I mean, again... Listen, this wasn't advertised as the season finale, but in all retrospect, this kind of was acting like the season finale. Like, of course, there's still some lingering loose threats to keep going, but in terms of, like, giving us an episode before... Sadly, the coronavirus panic is continuing and is still affecting the production of many television shows, not just, and also movies, other productions, people's lives and jobs. So pretty much, it's been affecting a lot of things. I honestly thought Katy Keene was the one thing that was unaffected by it, since they had completed shooting the first season before. But obviously, post-production things still happen. Whether or not they're doing remotely just to get the remaining episodes out, I don't know. Maybe this is a planned hiatus. Again, since this week we have literally seen no previews for any episode, next week, or even like a return date. It's kind of concerning. But anyway, so back to this episode. This episode did feel like the culmination of many things that we've been kind of building on in the last few episodes, especially leading us off since the cliffhanger of last week's episode, where we saw Ginger and her, Jorge and his boyfriend getting attacked by a gang. Things were pretty dire, and not really dire. We kind of knew by the preview that it was going to be alright, but there was going to be some rattled heads, going into this week's episode. And given how it's also Pepper's birthday, it's our first birthday episode, hooray! I'm not saying that like a joking matter, but it's like I don't know why I never really liked birthday episodes in TV shows. I don't know why. It's like giving the focus. Never mind. I get into that right now. But overall, baseball, I really did enjoy this episode. It definitely felt like the culmination, started new things. But it also didn't really feel like it just felt like a culmination. If this was a season finale, then it was a pretty good season finale. But it's not. We still have more episodes though. Hold your horse. We just don't know when we're coming back. But anyway, so let's get that for the very butchered recap. And for once, I am recording this literally after I wrapped. In more recent weeks, I have been kind of holding it off. Like I saved it for the next night. But anyway, so we begin immediately after, not immediately after, like we get a couple of hours, or maybe the evening after, I'm not really sure time frame right, but we see Katy, we see the Golden Girls, and also all Jorge's family showing up, after Jorge was released from the hospital. They're alright, they're doing fine, but Jorge still has like a mark. Apparently he didn't stay at the hospital because his insurance sucks. And paying overnight at the hospital is not entirely the best in cases if your insurance is pretty horrible. So Jorge did kind of the right thing, and plus his injuries don't look too severe. So everyone's comforting him. Everyone's just trying to figure out like how do we find these guys. But they said like the likelihood of finding these people are very slim because there were no witnesses. There was no anyone watching. It was just them. So it's kind of hard to figure it out, which definitely does make sense. Also, for some reason, we have Prometheus from Arrow here. Josh Segura. Okay, sure. Yes, Jorge is somehow related to Prometheus. Okay, I believe that. So everyone's trying to support, trying to like figure it out. KO drops by to visit to kind of like he helped out a little bit because he's still, even though with the breakup with Katy, he's still wanting to help out. He still wants to help Jorge. While he's about to leave, Katy stops him. They talk in the hallway. Katy does want to pursue a friendship with KO, especially in recent weeks that KO's still caring about everyone, so it only makes logical sense for KO to start being just friends with Katy now. Not that sometimes, also he does admit that Xandra and him are dating. It's official, they are dating, and Katy's initially fine, but with majority of things, it's not really. But then we come back to the apartment. Jorge's dad is telling him like, why were you in the ginger persona in the dress? Like the show was over, and he tells him like and that's when Jorge reveals that no, I am a drag queen. I am a performer. This is who I am. The dad doesn't take it well. he talks to the mom, but she already knew about it since we knew about it a couple weeks ago. So definitely not looking so good for Papa Lopez over here. But he storms off, and I believe we cut to the next day where I think from there I think I'm gonna go with Katie. So Katie's heading off to start her apprenticeship with. No, I think no. So no. So Katie has lunch with KO. They're talking about things. KO's again re-admitting that he's going to be an underwear model because Xandra is like pushing into like, hey, this would be a cool thing. You got the body, why not make some money from your body? And Katie's about to start her apprenticeship with Guy, and it's a little bit awkward since the fact they're trying to delve the line between we're just friends, but also we're not. They used to be so close that certain actions are not entirely the same because they're not in a relationship anymore. So they still don't know how to quite guide that. But Katie heads over to the apprenticeship where she sees a ton of designers there, so she's confused because she thought that she got the apprenticeship, but Guy said no, yes, but no. Like there's other people that are interested in the apprenticeship, so a little competition, so to speak. Katie goes on a sideline with the guy she's trying to get an unofficial apprenticeship for, and she admits the whole thing about, Xandra and KO and all that, and Guy's kind of a bit concerned, not because of that, but because, can Katie really keep her personal life away from her work, considering the fact that literally the last time these two were working together, it was because Katie didn't want to design a dress for the fiancé of who she banged her fiancé. So it's a very, very complex situation Katie keeps getting herself into, so the guy decided, you know what? Prove to me that you can focus on the job if you can give me back this dress I loaned to Xander when she was trying to court him to kind of just have him in her payroll. So Katie agrees, although she's not entirely down for it. Also, it's apparently Pepper's birthday, and we see that Fortune Gypsy, the friend she had like a few weeks ago, back at it. It's her birthday. Usually the two do cons together on her birthday, apparently. But Pepper says that because of the banker that we saw in episode 2 being released and now sober, she's trying to get him to still invest in her business now, but more in a legitimate way. So she invites him up. He's impressed by the design of things, but he hasn't seen the artist yet, which is, of course, the most important thing about Pepper's whole business idea. And Pepper decides, you know what, come to my birthday party tonight. You're going to meet a ton of artists that I have already included, so you get to meet them and then get proven that this can be something that you can be worth investing your money into. I think from there, Josie is talking to Alex again. Here's the thing about Josie. I feel so sorry for her. Like every single episode, we get the same old. Alex shows up with a cup of coffee, and instead of bringing good news for Josie, like, no, you gotta wait. I mean, I really feel sorry for her. I really do. So. So there is no word so far on Alex's dad listening to the EP. Yeah, so it's all about being patient and waiting. But of course, Josie being promised that it was going to be overnight success so many times, which I don't understand why she hasn't wised up and said no, it's not going to be that quick. She opts to agree and waits a while to it, and I think Jorge is still recovering. No, Jorge is working at the bar. He meets that guy, the hookup guy he had, way before he met his current boyfriend, show up in support, and he wants to help him pro bono as his lawyer. Which obviously, again, since the two still didn't really necessarily resolve their things, it was just simply Jorge just closing the door on him. Will that lead to future issues because they're in the end of the episode? Maybe, who knows? I think Jorge is wise enough to know right and wrong. And then I think from there... Yeah, so Josie invites everyone to her place, to the recording studio to kind of send out her EP, send it out to streaming services, news station, trying to get any sort of place to get them listening to this track. Pepper, but then also Josie said, "Well, why don't you do him?" I think it was Jorge that suggests why don't you make a music video, try to get one of your songs promoted, and Pepper's obviously begging or. Being friends with benefits with a director, so she gets them those two to collaborate and make a music video. Seemingly okay. I mean, that's better than any of the music videos I produced back way years ago. But that's a story for another time. I think from there, so I'll just keep on. Yeah, Josie produced the music video. It goes live, and Katie goes to see KO and Sandra during KO's underwear model shoot, and at first it doesn't seem like they're gonna budge on the whole dress thing, but Katie, trying to be trying to think one step ahead, invites them to Pepper's birthday party in hopes that Katie can get Sandra drunk enough to get the dress from her when she's in a weakened state. Jesus Christ, Katie, you're kind of crazy here. Then I believe so I think from there Jorge talks to his dad again, and while the dad doesn't necessarily agree with, he doesn't flat out say I don't like this at all on the base level of him being the drag queen. His moral statement is that I'm your father, I love you, I don't want to see you get hurt or something really seriously happen to you, and that's completely understandable. And that's the point he was trying to make here. Like, he's not discouraging Jorge from following his dream per se, but he's only caring about his safety, which is the natural parental thing to do. So from there, I think we're already at the birthday party. That was pretty quickly. Yeah. Again, butchered recap. I'm forgetting a lot of things, even though I saw this episode literally like an hour ago. So Pepper introduces the banker to all the friends. The whole group is here. Everyone that we've seen on Katy Keene, the show so far, is at Pepper's birthday party. And it's a little bit awkward since the fact that Katy is seeing KO and Xander being a public couple. Pepper trying to impress the banker. Xander telling Josie apparently that their dad did listen to the song and didn't like it. And once again, Alex is again holding information. I guess Jorge isn't really having any problems for once in this current... he's still debating on the whole, like, not being Ginger outside again after the whole incident. And Jorge makes a toast to Pepper. It's a pretty nice toast. We cut back to later on where Pepper's friend, such the gypsy lady. I'm going to call it gypsy lady. I don't know why. She looks like a gypsy, to me personally. It's telling the story of how she and Pepper got to know each other, but that kind of creates, once again, more disconclusions, like inconsistencies with Pepper's story that she's been telling thus far. And that kind of sort of chain reacts, a sort of like web of lies being unraveled. Apparently, another key detail that Sandra and Pepper made last week was that if this adaptation of Kiss of the Spider Queen goes to Broadway, Sandra gets to play the Spider Queen, which doesn't sit necessarily well with anyone, not Alex, not Jorge, not Josie. So everyone's starting to hate on Pepper. And then, conveniently enough, Xandra gets spilled her wine glass over the guy dress. Katie goes off on her. KO is reflexing to his when he was with Katie mode. So pretty much Xandra's not happy. Katie goes to talk to Xandra, explains the whole thing, and I think Katie realized that maybe Xandra is a better fit for KO because Katie was pushing KO away from his dreams to try to kind of make everything work, and Xander was pushing him to make his dream work, or at least be successful. So it's a bit of a weird line here. And then I believe we had another moral conversation. I don't know where. But I know Katie and Jorge talk backstage about the whole thing, and admitting that they're both family. They need to be they need to be there for each other since. And Jorge also tells him about the whole his dad situation. But regardless of Jorge trying to keep his main family together, he also has another family in Katie and the whole Golden Girls gang. And he slowly realized that. The banker also tells Pepper that I'm going to invest in the place. I'm sold on it. Plus the gypsy apparently sold him also on it. So Pepper's not entirely so happy about this as she's trying to move away from the gypsy lady. I'm sorry if I don't know her name. I can't remember everyone's name. But I think we can cut to the next day, I believe. I don't remember. No, did we cut to the next day? I'm going to say yes. We cut to the next day. KO drops by Katie the dress from Guy so she can give to him. KO does tell her that even though last night he kind of stood up for Katie, he needs to stop doing that because he's with Xandra now. He's not on Team Katie anymore. In terms of a romantic side, he's on Team Xandra. But he still wants to be friends with Katie. He wants to make this work. I think we're done with Pepper. Josie and Alex have the talk about the whole thing. Alex does admit that yes, his dad didn't like the EP, but he did get to show her. He managed to convince him not to fully give up on Josie. Actually, going back to his older catalog and admitting that he was very impressed when you were with the Pussycats. So you know what that means? We're getting the Pussycats back together. Do we? We don't know. We haven't seen the Pussycats since like season 2 of Riverdale. So what have they been up to since plus the 5-year gap? It's been 7 years. Bringing them on the show will be pretty interesting if they decide to pursue that path. But Josie didn't necessarily give an answer or anything. She just kind of was left gasping that the possibility of her, I'm sorry about that, being to the next level of her career could involve bringing back her old friend, bringing back the Pussycat, which is ironic considering the fact the Pussycat split up because of Archie. So, but there's no Archie here. Will it be Alex? Who knows? Jorge decides to stop and give into the Ginger persona. He confronts his dad again, this time on his grounding of, this is who I am, this is what I want to be in my city, I'm not going to let anyone intimidate me to not be what I want. So how will him and his father deal with things in the future? We don't know. It's all left up on the air. Ginger puts on a rally for to support the cause. At the fire station, everyone shows up for support. It's pretty great. The lawyer guy shows up admitting that he actually came out of the closet to his entire firm. So, but does that necessarily spell trouble in the land for Jorge? Who knows? And Katie's happy at the moment. Oh no! Also another thing, she got the apprenticeship from Guy. I forgot about that. But then, so back to this. Katie's happy that everyone's here. Everything's fine. Everyone's friendly. And then literally, a bus shows up with KO's underwear shoot photo. And apparently Katie still might have feelings for KO. And that's where we leave off this chapter. Again, I really enjoyed this chapter. It felt like the culmination of things, the start of new things, potentially returning things. But will any of these be followed up properly? We don't know. I mean, if I don't see a preview for the next episode with no date, how am I supposed to know your show's coming back? The show's wrapped, CW. The show is wrapped. We need new content. I can't go the entire next week without new content. There's no Rookie. There's no Nancy Drew. There's no Katy Keene. What do you want me to do? Anyway, so yeah, either way, 2 thumbs up for this episode. I really dig this episode, and yeah, I can't wait for the remaining season 1 whenever we start to see promos for that. I've heard some things, but Katy Keene's not included in that, so who knows? And yeah, I think that's gonna do it for me, guys. So sorry if I felt a little bit more angry boned than usual. I gotta work on that. Yeah, that's gonna do it for me, guys. So if you were unaware, this was What's in the 2 from ActionX. If you want to know what's coming up overall on What's in the 2, well, we usually do rookie reviews every Monday after a new episode on Sunday, but presumably that's on hiatus because of the COVID. And we do Nancy Drew reviews too on Thursday nights on Wednesdays, but COVID. Well, we were on a natural hiatus, but will that get pushed back again? I don't know. And Katy Keene, we have reviews every Saturday night after a Thursday episode, but well, I don't know. I'm so baffled. I'm so confused. So here's what I know about. I'm going to talk about this publicly about the COVID thing and how it's impacting the show. So while this didn't include Nancy Drew from what I was reading, I'm gonna bump in Nancy Drew on this. So from what I'm hearing is that the situation with COVID isn't getting solved anytime soon because initially production was going to be shut down until today. So hypothetically, Monday, the cast and crew were supposed to return to resume shooting the shows. But considering that things have not yet necessarily had a major improvement since the shutdowns happened, then they've like confirmed for a variety of sources that the production of these shows will not be continuing anytime soon till their planned May finales. So from what I'm hearing is that they're going to wait a couple more weeks and then they're going to air every single episode they have already in the can. And then the remaining finale episodes for certain shows will be pushed back until later in the year. What does that mean? Does that mean we get a summer resolution? Do we get pushed to fall / start of the next season? Again, I don't know. No one knows anything. Literally, the moment this crisis is over, we will have some answers. But honestly, in my professional opinion, I really don't know because I've heard conflicting reports that it's going to be over by May, it's going to be over by June, it's going to be over by July. We don't know. We honestly don't know. when things are, and also how that's going to affect the next season production, since a lot of shows have been renewed for new seasons. So they got to also consider next season's production too, if this thing doesn't get solved soon. Nancy Drew was still filming. I think they already shot 20 episodes of their show, so they still have 2 more episodes to shoot. So I believe the plan is, I don't know yet. I have to read the updated schedules, so don't quote me on this. That Nancy Drew is going to stay a little bit longer hiatus. I will update you on Twitter. It will come back, and then it will air whatever episode has been shot and edited, and then it will come back, and then we literally have to wait for the last episode of season 1 whenever this crisis is over. So, again, I don't have any special insider information. That's all I know. Katy Keene, I know first season was wrapped, but however, remember post-production, it's another factor. It still requires people to work together. Editing remotely can be a bit more challenging since you don't have the collaboration. A very faster one when you're in person. Obviously, to contain this virus or trying to prevent more spreading, they have to work remotely, which can affect post-production in terms of like how speedy it could be. So for Katy Keene, I'm expecting that that's the case. Regardless if the first season has been shot, they need more time to edit more episodes since it is taking a while. So I do expect Katy Keene to wrap up its first season. Whether or not we'll get a season 2 renewal is up in the air. As for the rookie's just radio silent. I'm not sure if they've wrapped their second season yet. I don't know that. Considering the fact that they did 20 episodes and they started like every other show, it's kind of too early to say if they shot or finished it already. I don't know entirely. They won't admit anything. Again, currently, tentatively, we get new episodes again on April 6th, I believe. I think that's when the rookie comes back. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6. No, wait. I'm wrong on that. 1, 2, 3. Sorry. April 5th is when we're supposed to be getting more rookie episodes. But again, I don't know if they already shot the second season has been done. I don't know anything. I literally find out with you. So anyway, with all that backstory out of the way, what is coming up next week? Because we have nothing next week. We have no show. And I refuse to let What's on the Tube go away. We're doing so well. We've been on a hot streak, so I'm not ending. So we are going to still have our normal 3 time slots. So what are we doing next week? What are we doing? So if you guys are very curious about me, if you like what I do, if you like my voice, somehow, what are we doing? So Monday, I am doing Game of Thrones Season 1 through 6 review. We'll be reviewing the first 6 seasons, talking about my experience with the show, because I had just wrapped Season 6 yesterday. So these are very immediate thoughts, so stay tuned on that. Thursday, I will be doing My Hero Academia Season 4. I will be reviewing the Remedial Course and the UA Cultural Festival arc that I just wrapped. I will not be doing the Pro Hero arc because, from what I've been told, it's probably not going to be finished by the season. It's going to be a Season 5 thing. So, we get 2 episodes in Season 4. The remaining will be in Season 5. So, I don't want to butcher it and I'm going to do those 2 arcs and that's it. No more. Will I do the older arcs? I'll probably have George come on for those whenever he's available. Yeah, so that's going to be it. And then the Saturday time slot, I haven't necessarily locked it down just quite yet. But if you heard me a couple episodes ago, I mentioned Big Time Rush. That will probably be the Saturday time slot because it's still musical themed, and I just binged it, so I kind of want to talk about it. It's going to be a very puzzling question for me to review. So stay tuned for that. And then by that point, we should have an update on how next week should go. I am watching more shows, so hopefully that'll mean more stuff to talk about while we're still in this whole COVID delays. Because yeah, it's a very difficult time. But anyway, so that's currently the plan for next week. So remember, Game of Thrones on Monday, Season 1 through 6. My Hero Academia Season 4's Remedial Course and UA Cultural Arc for Thursday. And Big Time Rush full series review on next Saturday. Again, those are the tentative change. I will be shooting them this weekend. And then hopefully they'll be ready to go on those time slots. But again, follow us on Twitter to know more. And that's going to do it for me, guys. I kind of rambled on long enough. So again, this was What's on the Tube from ActionX. If you want to see more What's on the Tube, subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell for notifications when we have a new video live. Like, favorite, share the video if you please. Follow us on all our social media feeds, including Twitter, to know whatever updates we have in store. And yeah, that's gonna do it. Again, so if you just are here for Katy Keene chapter reviews, I'm sorry, Golden Girls, it's gonna be a while. How long of a while? I don't know. I really don't know. But I'll let you guys know. But if you are interested in seeing what else I'm doing, follow me next week. And okay, I rambled on long enough. Thank you guys so much. Stay safe during this time period. Stay home. And binge a lot of stuff. See you guys.